I'm sure we've all found ourselves in this position. One wheel up inside the guard, the other one with nothing under it, just but air, and we're not going forwards. This is because open differentials. Now, there's a lot to know about differentials, and that will come with another video, but today we're going to talk about traction control. This is what happens when your traction control's turned off. So just let me demonstrate. As you can see, we're not going anywhere. So now I'm just going to engage the traction control and just see how easy this is. Now, the thing with the Grand Vitara is this: if you've got your car in for high with the center differential locked and you press the traction control off button for 5 seconds, turns the traction control off, and it indicates that it's off, which is great. But then, when you put it in low, it shows traction control off. But it's no different in this display than if you had left your traction control on, because you can't turn it on or off in 4 low. Well, you can, but there's no visual indication of it. So you wouldn't know whether your traction control's on or off. But if you've turned it off while you're in 4 high lock, then it will be off in 4 low lock. So that's a little trick with the Grand Vitara. The other little trick with the Grand Vitara is this, and it's the same with all 4-wheel drives that have got traction control and no differential locks. The differential works in such a way that it distributes the torque evenly between the 2 wheels of an axle. Now, if you've lost traction with one of those wheels and the automatic braking system brakes that wheel in order to give you traction to the one that's got dirt under it, what it's effectively done though is halved the amount of torque, doubled the axle speed of that wheel. So what you've essentially done is geared that up by a factor of 2. So if you're going up a steep undulating hill where you're losing traction on opposite wheels, what's going to happen is, as your traction control goes on, so your gear ratios have increased. So in other words, you're going from a low first condition to a low second condition. And I might add here that this is only the case when your vehicle's lost momentum and it's basically stopped. You've got one wheel with traction, or opposite wheels with traction, and the other 2 wheels up in the air with no traction, and you basically stopped. So that 2 wheels, the opposite wheels that have got no traction, are spinning away, and your traction control comes on. It brakes those 2 spinning wheels so they're stopped. that's when the wheels with traction will have double the gear ratio. So as long as you have momentum, as long as the vehicle's still moving at a reasonable pace and your traction control comes on, as long as those other two wheels that have got no traction are still turning, then it's not such a dire situation. So with the Grand Vitara, that's a little bit of a problem, because with the 2.4 manual, the engine doesn't have a huge amount of torque down low. So you have to use end revs to get anywhere with this, which is not so bad. I mean, the traction control works fine if you're on a undulating surface like we were on back there without a steep incline, but doesn't work quite so well when you've got a steep incline. And that's all, folks. That's just a brief explanation of the Suzuki Grand Vitara's traction control and open differentials.